Okay, everybody. I thought we'd go ahead and just do something simple. I thought I'd go ahead and make a few foods, few recipes that, are just common everyday things that, everybody knows how to make. But, for the kid that's, 18, 19 years old, just out of school, just leaving their parents' house, these, they're invaluable. When you're that young, you're really naive and you don't even realize it. And so I thought we'd start with something kind of fun, something that, like I said, I think everybody knows how to make, no-bake cookies. So, what we're going to start with, well, first of all, we want to turn our heat on to, I've got the wrong burner, turn our heat on to about medium-high, maybe gas 5 or so. And then we're going to put 2 cups of just pure granulated sugar, just, normal everyday stuff, into our pot. Now, you want to work kind of fast here because this sugar will start melting, and, we don't really want that to happen until we get our milk in. And so the next thing is going to be a half a cup of milk. And it's about right here in this measuring cup. And then we're just going to stir it. And we're going to stir it. And we're going to stir it. All right, and next we're going to put in a stick of butter. As Julia Child often said, nothing is, good without butter. I'm just going to throw that in there. It'll melt. And then we're going to use a fourth of a cup of cocoa. And my measuring spoon somehow got under my tripod. There we go. Fourth of a cup of cocoa. And now we're going to stir it some more. You don't want this to boil too much. I mean, it's going to boil, and that's fine. That's exactly what you want. But if you boil it too much, it burns the milk. And probably the sugar, I'd think. Yeah, while we're waiting, I guess I can tell you kind of a funny story from my childhood. My mother, she was a terrible cook, especially growing up. She was a young mom, and I was the oldest child. And so, when I was very little, we lived on a large property. And so my stepdad and some of his friends and his dad and some family were out. It was the fall, probably November, the end of November, I'd say. And they were out in the fields and in the woods. They were deer hunting. And so my mother thought she'd be a good hostess, and she thought she'd make them some no-bake cookies. And so she got her pot out and put all of her stuff in, and after she got past the stirring stage, you have to put vanilla extract into the pot. Except she didn't grab the vanilla extract out of the cupboard. She grabbed a liquid laxative. And she put it in there, and all those guys came in, and they thought that, they saw these really good looking cookies here. And they ate and they ate, and they were all gone. And then they left. Well, a couple days later, my stepdad gets a call, and he's like, "Did you get sick?" And he said, no. His friend said, well, all the rest of us guys, we had major diarrhea for about 2 days. They'd eaten those no-bake cookies and give them diarrhea. Great topic while we're trying to cook, huh? All right, so it looks like this has boiled, and I think that's about enough. So I'm going to turn off the heat. But we're going to put in about a tablespoon of vanilla extract. All right, and we're going to add about a 1/4 cup peanut butter if I can find it. I'm not going to measure this because I've been doing this for years. I'm just going to approximate. A little more. Now make sure the heat is turned off when you get to this stage. And then we're going to stir it until the peanut butter melts. Let me grab and put the lid on that real quick. There we go. And this is a pretty forgiving recipe. You know, there are very few things you can mess up with this one. It's probably the first thing I ever learned how to make. Oddly enough, it's one of the few things my mother ever taught me. I did learn to leave out the laxative, though. Now, as you can see here, we got a nice, like, dark brown color. That's exactly what we want. Probably could stir a little bit more here. All right. I think we're where we need to be. Now, we're going to want 3 cups of rolled oats. That's just normal oatmeal for, you know, anyone that doesn't know that. Does it matter if it's old-fashioned or quick oats? You know, I use quick oats. I use old-fashioned oats. I don't know that it makes that much of a difference. Some people say there's a difference. I mean, I know there's a difference between them, but, you know, if you're cooking oatmeal, you'll know. But it doesn't matter that much to me. So anyway, let me put the 3 cups in. I have to measure it out here. I'm using a liquid measuring cup, but that's okay. And you don't have to be completely exact here. Get close, though. 2. And then, guess what? We're going to stir some more. And this is going to get hard to stir, so put some muscle into it. And I think I could use a little bit more in the oats. There we go. I like it a little thicker. You know, some folks would want it to be a little less. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just to your preference. There. All right. So now we are going to need to move. So I will be right back. All right, we're back. So we need to just roll out some parchment paper here on the counter. And then we're just going to drop this by the spoonful, and I forgot to get my spoon, so forgive me. We're going to drop this by the heaping tablespoonful or so onto the parchment paper. And it'll flatten out on its own. And it's a little messy, so be careful. It's also hot. All these little bits that I drop, I always just sort of eat them as I'm waiting on these cookies to cool down. This is really good. I like to make them of all different shapes and sizes, just like people. Just throw those over there. That'll be fine. Boy, these look good. All right, there we go. So we're just gonna wait on these to cool down, and they'll get hard as they cool down. And then we'll come back and we'll give one a try. I'll be back. All right, so I'm not so sure that these are fully cooled yet, but I thought we'd go ahead and try one just because I really like these cookies, and I ate all of the extra stuff that was left in the pot, but I really want another one. So, how do you know that these are cooled enough when they hold together whole? If they're not cooled down or not hard enough, they will fall apart when you pick them up. But let's go. Good. Brings back memories of your childhood. I ate my fair share of these growing up because I think it was about one of the few things my mother knew how to make. I pick on my mother, but she's great. But if you like this video or have a question or something, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I don't know much about it, but just let me know what you think. And until then, till next time, I hope you enjoy the cookies. Bye.